What's up, guys? I hope you're having a great day today. I'm excited to be here with you. It's been a while. It's been like three energetic weathers, but I'm telling you what, we are out of the spleen. Halloween's a whole season here, and everything's cleaned up. Everything looks good. So we have moved on to my mom's autumn decorations, which aren't nearly as drastic as Halloween. But it was nice to get everything put up and do the whole song and dance. And so here we are in my cross. I'm so excited. The sun is in 1.1 today, the earth is in 2.1, and that's my reverse cross. So my sun is 2.1, my earth is 1.1. And then of course on the other side we've got pessimism and anarchy going on, which is the best. I love my design sun and earth. Okay, so I was putting this together and seriously, like gate one can make me a little emotional sometimes. Like I really have an eye for the individual and being an individual because that's what I am. And you know, it's about creation. It's called the creative. And for me, like creation is about facilitating life's unfolding, like recognizing what's happening, what life wants, grabbing that thing in the air, setting it down, just facilitating what is trying to happen now. And we really mess it up. So we're going to talk all about this. And what we can know about me is that creation grounds me. And it's really cool. Like yesterday, I had a whole day. I wanted to be able to do these in word form or video form, but we've just been all over the place. So yesterday, I literally watched myself. I could feel the energy coming in, and it's like I just watched myself do it all. Like I got my blog together, fixed up the templates, put in some of the posts, made my things, and so I went into this whole creative thing. And I love that. I love that I can flow with the timing of what's happening. It's like I could be mad at myself because I didn't do that before. Or I could just allow it to happen as it does and feel good in the fact that I'm in my creation, in my flow. And so that's so grounding for me. And you guys can check out the blog. I'm actually doing something called vibes, where maybe I'll do like a monthly vibe or like a weekly vibe, but I'm just going to put like blogs I love, people I love, art, just pretty much anything about like psychology or relationships, like all of these things. And basically, just like a stream of outer authority in the now, like through time, what I'm seeing now and sharing it with you guys because creativity grounds me. And so here we are, Sun in 1.1 today. The title of this is called Creation is Independent of Will. And oh my God, I could just die about this. Like be born and then die, and then be born and then die about this right here. And under the line, this is creative instability unless there is patience. And I think that we're in the detriment today. So we're just this. And when we look at this gate as a whole, this is the potential to manifest inspiration without limitation. So, what does that even mean? It's so much about mutation, like bringing what's new, the individual being weird and different, like, but they were born that way and they have something to contribute to planet Earth, It's like trying to nurture that individual difference so that they can be this different thing and bring that newness and that difference and be received as valuable in their right timing. And so this energy brings what's new. And the hard part about bringing what's new is that when something new happens, there is no best. And then there's like no order, and everyone's like, this is chaos. What is this? Like maybe they're like telling you to get out with whatever you're trying to contribute. And it's like because the individual brings what's new, they can't really like lead. Like they can't really look at life and be like, oh, this is where we're going for the future. And they can't really like reflect and be like, oh, based on the past, like this is what it is. They can contribute what they are, what they have been their whole life. And hopefully it's not conditioned away so that they can be it and be in their path and feel good and comfortable in their path. And it's like we can think of Pablo Picasso. He was poor. He didn't start selling paintings for big money until after he died. And it's like that can be a very sad reality. But was his contribution still valuable in its time? Yeah. It's like at the beginning, they might have been looking at him like, okay, what is this? Like, your people look like surrealist monsters. Like, you need to get out. What's wrong with you? And then it's like, boom, entire genres of art and artists and inspiration into the future can be inspired by the contribution that he brought. even if it didn't really produce for him while he was living. It's like the same with Tesla. You know, Tesla was literally abandoned to a war. And that doesn't mean that so much of what he brought to us hasn't been valuable, but it was valuable in its timing. So it's like mutation and creativity and creation. Like these processes are so beyond our control, our willpower. Creation is beyond will. It's like what happens, happens, and we can be ourselves and we can contribute. But at the end of the day, we have to allow what is and accept what happens because mutation is beyond all of us. And so what that really means is that timing is everything. We have to wait for it. We have to surrender and be what we are. And that's all that we can really do and hope that we don't get the freak label. And to me, it's like that's maximum level of choice. When we can accept our limitations, like this is what I am. I understand that it's not making me money, but I can't do anything besides create these strange paintings that no one really likes that much. It's like all we can do is accept our limitations and be what we are. And if we can do that well, new possibilities will come in front of us. You know, it's like maybe he never had the possibility of getting something that his mind thought he wanted, but he did get to see his movie, his life, and other things did happen. And so it's like if we can align with what happens, we don't have to be upset about our expectations or about what we think we should have or could have gotten. And, you know, this whole thing, because this is where it gets really confusing. It's like, this is where the ego comes in. Like, who does it? Is it self? Is it ego? Is it life? Is it me? And it's like, my whole life is literally about this, with this being my cross. And so it's like, if I boil this to a base level, self holds my soul, me, self holds me to my body so that I can see the filtering of spirit. The filtering of spirit. Spirit's moving through the body, it's moving through the matter, and we are filtering it. And that is the change, and that is the mutation. So that's like the base level. That's all I'm here to do is watch matter change as spirit unfolds it. And it's like, as I do that, I get to watch life give me everything that I need. Okay. That is what my ego wants to avoid. My ego does not want to know that. It wants to do everything to make that not be a reality, and it wants to resist it and cause problems and try to make me be something I'm not. It wants to take credit and get recognition. Like it wants and needs and expects all of these things. And it's like we can't avoid that spirit is in this matter and that we do get what we need and that things happen regardless of us and our willpower and what our mind thinks it should be. And here's a perfect example. So, you know, I did gymnastics, I secured the full ride, I did everything I wanted to do, and then I fractured my spine and I wasn't allowed to do gymnastics anymore. And, you know, through my moving forward, which really wasn't that great, I take an art class and my teacher invites me to paint a painting. I mess it up. She invites me to submit it to a scholarship. I painted a watercolor painting with no water. And I'm like, okay. And I submit it to the scholarship and I get a full ride. You know, it's like life literally did that to me. It showed me this thing that I worked my whole life to do, and it gone, like immediately gone. And then it showed me some illogical way that never could have happened, like never could have happened if I tried. And boom, that's how it's going to be. And so it's like my whole life has literally just been watching life give me these things. And even if I try really hard, even if I do get what I thought it was going to be, that whole order will change in an instant. And all I can do is align to the new world that I have been plopped in. And it's like, it's wonderful. This is my ability to relax and love life, because like life being in charge, it's a master. It is so masterful. It's so much better than me, better than anything that I could do. It's order and the way that it does things. Like I can definitely be impatient. Um, but wow, it's like when I can really see what it's doing and how it's working, it's a miracle. And so it's like the ego doesn't want to see that miracle. You know, it wants to get the full ride. And then if it doesn't get that, it wants to torture itself about it for the rest of its life instead of letting it be okay that that happened and that that could have been for me. That could have happened so that I could have done something different, new, better. You know, it's like if we can just trust the mutation, the change as it comes, we can keep moving with life. We can facilitate the creation that is trying to happen with, through, and for you, right? It's like, that's so beautiful. And I want to talk about one more big thing before we go on to two. We blame and shame humans for what happened. Like something happens, we either credit you and we're like, oh my gosh, you're the most wonderful human in the world. How did you do all this? Right? We're like, oh my God. And on the other side, we're like, you are despicable. How could you do this? I cannot believe, da da da. And it's like we put all of this like weight and validation on top of people, like we choose any of the things that unfold. And that can be really hard. It's like, here's some examples. Maybe it's a really weird one. Like we're watching a show and this woman started having dreams about this place that they're at. And she's like, look, like I've seen this place and these people believed her, but her husband couldn't. And he's just like giving her the same old, you're tired, like been a long day. We've been doing a lot. Like you need to get some sleep. You're not thinking straight, starts gaslighting her and confusing her. And it's like, we could just let that be happening and we could just be like, oh, she had this dream and that's fine, and that's just what's happening now. And I'm sure she didn't choose to have that dream as a kid. Maybe she didn't have that dream, but she's really trying to tell me that she did, and I don't know if she did. It's so interesting how we will mess with a human in their alignment because we don't have the past experience to believe what they're going through right now. And then it's like all of a sudden you start hearing this collective whispering and they're like, should we burn this one at the stake? And it's like, oh shit, now we're here. And it's like, we don't have to do any of these things. It's like we can accept and allow people to have different experiences that we've never had, and be able to see in different ways and experience life in different ways, and we can allow that to be happening. We can also allow the other end, which is conditioning, to be stopping them from experiencing life fully as themselves. So it's like that right there, those two different things can be a slippery slope. And I can bring this into a mundane experience too. It's like millennials have been called snowflakes for so long. And at this point, I'm pretty sure that we've all turned into hail because we have been like gaslighted and blamed and shamed for so much in the financial realm. It's like we live with my mom right now, and we're both very hard workers, very smart. Bear has a very successful business happening. We've had multiple successful businesses happening. And it's like anybody can say whatever they want about any of that, about anybody my age, especially when everything that they did at our age worked better and they had what they needed to, both have a job and have the insurance and take the vacations and do all of the different things. It's like things change. And just because you had that experience doesn't mean that this generation might not be having a new one. And we can blame and shame them and call them crazy and call them snowflakes, or we can hear them. We can work together to try to make their experience better for their children, our grandchildren. It's like, it's so interesting how fear and being unable to relate to experience, like these beliefs and this past that we all carry around with us, like it stops us from just letting us be who we are. Nobody's here to tell anybody, your direction's wrong. Like that's why you're not making money, because you're not doing the right things. You're not holding your nose the right way. It's like anybody can say that, but no one knows if that's true. And after getting that for so long, you start to realize like, wow, like they're saying that and that's about them. That's about the bag of past that they're carrying around. And when it comes to this, all of us messing with each other about our direction and you're doing it wrong. And if you were doing it right, you'd be getting this, like all of this stuff. Pluto is moving out of 60 right now. Okay. All we can do is accept our limitations. Like we can accept what it is for us. And that can be really beautiful. And in that acceptance, like we said before, new possibilities can happen. We can accept that people are a bag of past and we can live life like looking straight at the thing, responding straight to the thing, and have fun in our own creativity and direction. Okay, so moving past this creative energy, we're going to the driver 2.1. This is called intuition. And so this is higher knowing through aesthetics, or the urge for action that ignores the wisdom of the higher self. And so what I know that I know that I know is that you can't outsmart life's direction. We can only align to life's direction. That's it. Like nobody gets to step outside of the timed order that the thing is, the mechanical just ticking. And I'll talk about that, the way I've experienced that in my life. This was Ra's conscious north node. So his unconscious or his conscious south node would have been the gate that we just talked about. And something that he talked about is how human design is an aesthetic system. It's beautiful. Like we want to go towards beauty, harmony, peace, like the good things in life. Like that is the direction that we all want to move towards. And it's really beautiful to me because this system has done so much for me. It's like after I lost my dad and had Vega and I was having the panic attacks and losing my vision and my mobility and all this stuff, human design came in and literally eliminated that problem for me within like 48 hours. It was the most illogical thing that I could ever explain to anybody, but it happened. And I stopped having panic attacks and I was able to be a mother and get a job and start living a regular life within like 2 days of starting to follow my strategy and authority. And I was kind of mad because I couldn't understand any of it at all until 3.5 years later, my mind like shattered and then I could understand all of it. And for the last 8 years, like this is really what I've had. I've had Maya mechanics, I've had Ra, and I've had the neutrino stream to build my new foundation with this like beautiful system that we have. And through doing that, like through learning directly from the neutrino stream and time and watching the things that happen and experiencing the energy inside of my body, it's like I really am able to experience the mechanics inside and outside. And it's so exciting because I love meeting life on deeper and deeper levels and understanding and seeing to the clearest of my capabilities. And it's like doing all this, it's helped me understand difference. Like it's helped me understand unique decision making, how everyone's different. No one knows for you. Like, how should you make decisions? Are you making your own decisions? Like, there's so many amazing depths that I've been able to gain from having this beautiful system. I feel so lucky about it. And it's really cool because now I can explain and understand what I would always say to people as a kid, because people would always come up to me and ask me funny, like religious, spiritual questions. And I have the channels for that. So I'm used to that. But I would always look at them and be like, all the religions, all those masters, all those people, they're talking about the same thing. Like they're trying to describe the same things. Like all the scientists, all the people, we are all trying to explain the same matter, the same reality, And it's like the mind isn't capable of doing it, which is what human design is about, because the voice gave us this. And it's a synthesis of a lot of our major spiritual religion systems. And planet Earth basically put this thing together and they're like, it's like, look, when you put it together like this, you can see that like all of your contributions were so valuable. I'm gonna cry. When you put them together and allow them to work in their differences as a whole. That is so fucking beautiful. And now I can understand that. I can help people mechanically see it and grasp it and live their life and relax. We can stop thinking we know it and we can begin to see it and enjoy it and love it. And we can know that matter is a mystery that we watch unfold in time with spirit. And this is my favorite way to think of it. It's like living in this neutrino ocean. The neutrinos are filtering through the crystal one at a time. And the matter has this magical thing that happens inside of it with this color exchange inside of the quarks, like the neutron and the proton. And it's like these colors, they're just exchanging between themselves, changing their color frequency. And it's like, it really is like that. Like the matter changes as spirit filters through, and we get to watch that happen and not be in charge of any of it. Like we get to enjoy it and watch it with awe and wonder. And we can love life when it's like that. We can't love it when we're blaming it on ourselves. And so I hope that you guys can watch your mind think, allow the spirit to move through you, be your creative self, receive your life, like have fun with it, watch your mind think, watch your body feel. None of these things can hurt you. You are made to see them. You don't have to be tangled up or involved with them. You can allow them to say anything, to feel anything, to do anything. You can enjoy low, just as much as you can enjoy a high. And so I hope you guys have a great day. I will be back on Thursday. Bye, guys.